I mean, it was a big challenge to move team. It was not a decision I took fast, but as soon as FaZe contacted me, I kind of knew that was what I wanted to do, to move team, and I'm very happy that I did so. In one way, I've thought about it like I have to speak English all the time, so I mean, just in that aspect, I learned a lot as a person. And also, I needed a new challenge, I needed something new to make it more challenging again. I mean, there's different ways of how to look on the game and also just personalities. I mean, back in the old team there was 5 Swedes and I'm a Swede myself, so I kind of knew how everyone was, but now we have a Bosnian, a Norwegian, a Slovakian and a Dane, so it's a lot of different personalities, but it's a lot of fun. I hope that I fit in good, and I think I fit in good. I think everyone has a lot of fun with each other. And as a player, I fit in well, but I still have like stuff to learn from everyone. And I think that you will never become a full player. Like nobody's ever going to be there. There's always going to be stuff to learn. There's never like a point where you're the ultimate player. I don't know. I don't think there's a such point. But of course, NiP can improve, and I think Consider can improve as well. They are insanely good players, both of them, and they are the 2 best players in the world right now, but there's always stuff to improve. For me, it would be really, really cool to go to San Francisco and play in front of the American crowd. I always liked the American crowd. They always bring the energy, and it will be super cool.
All right, welcome back to IEM Oakland 2017. If you can hear my voice right now, I need you to make a little noise. There it is, there it is, there it is. All right, look, I'm on the sidelines here with Christian from Clovis, California. Not that far of a drive, but just a little far away from home. FaZe fan, tell me a little bit about this matchup that you're watching.
I believe the matchup was really good. I think FaZe is really good against NiP. They just didn't have much of a coordination. They were going for too many individual plays.
Well, that's some coaching if I've heard it right there. Let's go ahead and take a look at Inferno, though. Can they bring it back in Inferno, or will NiP just be 1 map closer?
I believe that FaZe is the best team in the world right now, and I believe that they could easily take NiP 3-1.
Oh, that's a ballsy statement there. I like it. I like the jersey, too. You know where you can get this, right? shop.eslgaming.com. Head over there right now and grab one yourself. I'm going to go ahead and give it back to the boys at the Xfinity Analyst Desk.
The GoDaddy post-match breakdown.
We'll have to get that guy up on the desk. Some top-tier analysis talking about Inferno. I have myself some experts of my own. I have Janko Paunovic and Chad Birchall. We're going to be talking through the first map before we even start talking about Inferno. That is a discussion in itself. But NiP have done it. NiP go into Cobblestone, a map that has been gifted to them throughout the veto process, and they managed to convert. It was not an easy feat.
What a way to kick off the finals, Alex. I mean, from the very start, you know, a lot of high explosive rounds, highlight moments all across the board. And for NiP, it was a great sign that their individual players started playing really well, right? That's something that needs to happen whenever you play against FaZe, you know, the likes of Rez. He continue having a good tournament, but also the veterans get right, and Forest especially have stepped up tremendously in this first map.
I mean, it was, you know, that was the kind of Counter-Strike where we are standing up, we're celebrating, we're on the edge of our seat. It must be so hectic to play.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to watch us, you know, we're standing there jumping up, yelling, making noise. It's crazy, but I think the best thing that Janko touched on there is that Rez and Forest have been able to carry that theme of having a huge impact through. And this round right here from Forest is giving the taste of FaZe's own medicine back to them, right? He gets 3 in this round. It's a huge impact round, turns the tide for NiP, and they're able to go through and scrape together a few more. But the thing is, when you're going up against a team like FaZe, and it's not humbling them in any means, but it's kind of showing them anything you can do, I can do better. And Forest has been around for longer than anybody in the server, so.
Yeah, I think we spent a lot of time, you know, talking about Rez and, you know, some of the other guys on NiP and the guys from FaZe, but we really haven't given Forest enough justice, you know, and I think he kind of reminded us that he is one of those guys who has one of the highest skill ceilings in the history of Counter-Strike, right? He's just so talented for the game. It was notorious that he doesn't even, you know, play that match that often and still has sick aim and all of that. And you could see in this particular game, in some of the rounds, he won the rounds by himself. And on the T side, after NiP would lose to those pesky force buys from FaZe, which we were talking about. So in those crucial moments, when the spirits are probably down a little bit, he steps up and and brings the game back into their own hands.
Yeah, and you talk of crucial moments. I mean, you both of those new players, this is their grand final, it's big stage, but best of 5, Draken and Rez. Both of them got some serious challenges thrown their way right off the bat. You had 2 1v1s, the poor Draken had to try and convert. You had Rez getting entries against the world's best players. I mean, this was a good start for NiP, Chad. Am I right in thinking that by picking this one up, we could have a real grand final now? Like this is where NiP can compete.
Definitely so, and I think when the young bloods, when they get kills early, it's great because it gives them confidence. If they start, 0-6 down, that's when it really starts to struggle for a young guy because you get in your own head.
And the problem for Draken was he lost 2 1v1s, 2 consecutive 1v1s, and that one against Guardian in the end also looked like, Guardian got the plan, he can be wherever, but Draken made a great rotation and won that. I think that was the turning point for him as well individually, because, I don't think he would have recovered from losing that many clutches, even though he was at a disadvantage. He might game himself in one of them, but after he won that clutch, that's where he steps up with the AWP, that round from Chicken Coop and so forth, and NiP did a great job of recovering in that first half.
They recovered and they converted it. I mean, you are going to lose rounds. You said it in the pre-match, didn't you, Yankee? You're going to lose rounds you shouldn't. And there was an instance of that where FaZe were winning. I think it was 2, 3?
Three of those instances right there.
3 of the 4 they won in the second half.
Yeah, and the thing that is, we were talking about Guardian being fantastic on the CT side of this map, but that's with the AWP. When your economy is, so strung out and you're only winning 4 spy rounds, you're not going to get an AWP in his hand very often, and that's an issue, especially when Guardian, his most impact can be with that weapon. Yeah,
and onto that second map as well. Last point, though, on Cobblestone, Yanko.
No, we can move on to the second map. It's only about that this is, FaZe, you could see that this is not their good map, right? That they are struggling for death on that T side as well. The pistol round was great, the Shred, the fake B and all of that, but they run out of things after a while, just going for that B execute and so on. So it was great for NiP to get into the final on that particular map.
So to run with that then, you're telling me this Inferno is going to look a little deeper from FaZe?
Absolutely, that's one of their strongest maps. When you look towards the T side, that's where they have a lot of variety, good set pieces, right, which is something that we praise them for, but also great individuals. I've seen a couple of times on LAN, it's just Guardian wins them the map. We talk about how it's difficult to op on the T side of Inferno, but Guardian somehow still makes it happen time and time again, getting those entry kills.
Yeah, absolutely, Chad.
Yeah, I think the transitional defense from FaZe on this map is fantastic on the CT side. They do it very well. They set up the brick wall here better than most. I think the question mark for me is going to be is NiP, they set on the CT side here. They've warmed up. They're looking good. They're going to need, I think they're going to need at least 10 to 11 rounds on the first half if they want to take this map, and that's a tall task.
And for me, that transitional defense, right, being dynamic on the CT side is going to be the name of the game for FaZe, because we saw yesterday the semifinal for NiP versus SK, right? They did a great job of punishing SK for that passive setup on B, had that extra Molotov for dark corner on B, which really, forces you to play in the open pretty much. So FaZe needs to make a play before it comes to that part of the round, right? Better pop flash in front of Banana, try to get a cheeky kill or some map information, or play a bit more aggressive towards mid so that you know when to make the rotate or maybe get a man advantage before the late round execute comes in.
So win conditions then for the Ninjas. We know FaZe are hot favorites, especially now this is their domain, their map pick. What do the Ninjas have to be doing and being able to capable with?
Rez on the T side, they need to find space for him to keep getting those entry frags, right? He's been very important in that role. Something that I need to note, though, is NiP, they like to do the second mid executes without top mid control. And the problem is, if you do that against FaZe, you're going to get mowed down time and time again. They're happy for you to do that, right? You need to contest them. You need to get a fight. And you need to find those entries. Once you do that, you can string them out a little bit. You can make them rotate. And that's when NiP can find their gaps and strike.
So probably the scariest bit of feedback from our desk is you have to be brave and you have to take fights.
They've been brave.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about NiP thus far. They're taking it to them, and they're taking with equal amounts of skill as what we've seen other FaZe guys throughout the tournament.
Maintain that individual level of skill. We know these names are capable of. Forest has proven it on Cobblestone. Rez, Get Right, Draken, Exist coming in as well. They are going to stand tall as they venture into Inferno. FaZe, though, are hot favorites, and albeit on a hot map, it is Inferno. And I'm assuming you guys, if I forced for a prediction, expecting to see this one go 1-1 all the way.
Leaning to FaZe, yeah.
Leaning to FaZe, same.
All right, we're expecting to see FaZe put up a real fight here as we go into their map. You know what time it is, Oracle Arena. We're going back into the fray. Your second map of the best of 5. And I've got 2 happy chappies who could be guiding you through. Henry G and Sadakist. Make some noise.
Thank you so much, Alex. Yes, we are back for map number 2. It's Inferno. And I hope you're enjoying the show so far. It's been an epic showing from NiP on the first map, and they've looked hot, man, Inferno. You remember them against SK Gaming? They had the execution, they had the teamwork, everything was looking very good. This could be another fantastic play here.
Well, that's the interesting thing, because the desk seemed to think this one was a pretty much foregone conclusion toward FaZe, saying 11 rounds required for NiP, but they threw some innovation to the mix, an additional Molotov in the play toward A yesterday, and they're right, they took down SK. This the pistol round important. Draken backs off as he has to toward the arch. Get Right is the one with the kit this time, so Exist goes battle style and finds, actually not any, it's Get Right instead. It's Rain to get all three back though, as he baits it out, takes down two teammates, but it doesn't matter because now they just have to focus Rez inside of Pit. Good find from Guardian. As Forrest left to do everything he dare, but it's going to be a challenge to get back to the site. Kit down where Get Right fell in front of Library. He's already got that to his name. And he knows there's at least one in the site, but Rain again finds a kill, fourth in the round, and it's 1-0 for FaZe.
An absolute brawl to kick things off with the pistol round in Inferno. It's Rain to find the lion's share of the kills as they go very quickly towards top and middle, focusing on the arch, wrapping around to the bomb site itself, and Rain doesn't miss a beat. Every single shot going in his favor there with the Glock, and we're not going to see the force weapon NiP. This has been a pillar of their economy approach on the CT side. After losing the pistol, they don't force buy. They just get the upgraded pistols here. They're looking at the bigger picture, which is a good thing to do. As they'll go into Rez towards top of Banana, looking for those opening kills once again. He's been so strong so far. This time shut down by Guardian, 5-4. They don't have to work too hard at this point. They've got full Banana control. They can execute and go all in towards B if they want to. It's more advice is to hold up and see what reactions come from the CT side. See if you can bait out utility like they have just now. And the CTs will be challenging towards the barrels.
Draken tries to poke out with the USP in hopes of giving Exist a better chance, but a smoke off. Olaf even sprays through that and finds Draken. First pistol thus far, by the way, for FaZe Clan. They went 0-2 on Cobblestone, so a great start on Inferno, and just Forrest left to find. Does have a deagle. We knew how punishing that could be, but I don't think it's good enough to win a round this time. Maybe just some damage and some guns dropped at the very best.
Yeah, not really much Forrest can do with this at all. You're absolutely right. It's good to see this discipline from FaZe and not giving anything up. We have seen what disgusting things Forrest has been capable of with this Desert Eagle. He'll be smoked out of position, looking for anyone flanking him through CD spawn. That's not going to be the case. FaZe making sure they eradicate every single risk at this point. The bomb will be planted around guaranteed at this stage, and Forrest will give up his position by spamming through the smoke. Won't get anything for it. And FaZe looking very likely to get the 3-0. This has been a common trend for NiP now. They go down 3-0 pretty much at the start of every game. They'll win the gun round, then lose the subsequent round, go down 5-6-1, and then they're on the comeback, which they have been doing very well, I have to say. They always seem to manage to pull it off.
With just Forrest remaining on a deagle, you saw them even then deploy the smoke towards CT. They don't want to lose anything on the FaZe side early on. You're right, it is a common trend. It happened yesterday against SK. Every single map. They had a 6-3 lead at map 2, but that was shocking, to be honest. An ancient history for what matters now. NiP want to go back-to-back in IEM. FaZe want to go back-to-back in the Grand Slam. As Exist covers off the hallway, he'll back down. Stack it up aggressively. In fact, look at the A site. There's all 5 players on that side of the map. So FaZe need to figure this out early.
It should be a clean sweep. We've only got PT50s, no armor for the NiP side. They've got a little stack towards the apartments. They're a very common position for defaults in terms of the T approach. You're trying to get control of that area first, but FaZe aren't interested in that. They're going to stay as a 5-man unit towards middle, and they'll fall back after spotting a couple of players there and just hold up. They have got some B control at the same time. The bomb's down in that position. See Nico and Olaf Meister ascertaining that the B bomb side is open for business, and there's no CT presence there whatsoever. A full A stack from the Ninjas, and one that won't work out for them. It's up to them now to decide whether they just deny frags for FaZe and stop them farming money with those UMPs, or they'll try and get some exit frags.
Reds already backed off. Is just going to make sure no one's pushing around from the archway. Get Right checks underpass as well. We might have a round with all 10 staying alive. It's very rare. It seems like it may not even happen because they are pursuing ever so slightly. Slowly through the library position, but they'll make contact. Certainly will. Through the edge of the door, I think the dink was also, so it only takes Nico down to 69. Olaf on 80. They know at least that they're inside of the pit. Might happen. It's possible.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Get Right down. He ruins it. But it's 3-0 for FaZe. Pretty straightforward.
And that might look really strange, but every dollar counts in Counter-Strike, and NiP just denying those UMPs, farming $600 a kill. Might as well do it. The only one kill goes in favor of FaZe there, but 3-0 comes through. And like we said, NiP not forced by in the second round means they get the AWP out, they get a kip. They have armor to work with and an abundance of utility as well. So this is what they were playing for. It's the long game, but we'll go to round number 4 here. The bonus situation for FaZe. Looks like we'll be rushing towards B. 4 players committed. Nades are good, though, from the Ninjas. It's going to land on face of Olofmeister there. And look at the fire, just denying their push through. And they'll have to fall back and upgrade one of the UMPs to the fallen AK of Olofmeister. And it's a 5-on-4 advantage for NiP at this point.
Rain wants to make contact from the apartments. He's here 7 done. Get right and Rez still battling off toward the top of Banana with additional smokes down, but rotations from FaZe indicate going back toward where Rain seemingly is as close as you'd like to the site. Has vision inside of it. Not toward the corner where Exist waits. He'll try and make contact in the smoke, fire some shots. Does that pull Rain out? Because if it does, Forrest needs to be ready. As Draken as well needs to be ready for flash through the smoke, which I think was mistimed. Did that actually go out from the other side? I think it might have, because Kerrigan didn't back through it. Draken's already forced off the angle. Kerrigan's tagged considerably, but now he gets toward Library. Rain could strike if he walks out the doorway. With the smoke deep, he's considering the arch. And they've pulled him off the site just based on indecision alone. Rain's been waiting for access. Underhand smoke, that'll isolate Forrest. He can try and get a shot toward Exist. It's exactly what he does. Rain finds Exist, Nico finds Forrest peeking, and they take over Pit very convincingly. Smart play from Rain to isolate himself and get the shot he needed as Get Right pulls one back. Guardian will try and get the bomb down. Only one directly inside of the site. In fact, positioning from Nico is pretty clever in this situation because he's so far removed, and if they wrap around the arch, as soon as they make noise, he can sneak out from Boiler behind them. Get Right and Rez will be sitting ducks as soon as Rain makes contact. Get Right considers it, but he's already looked away.
Yeah, Nico coming in with the flank here. That's going to shut the round down. Here he comes. He might even have to. It's going to be Rain to find both the kills. 2 versus 1 now as Draken. No kid available. We'll have to save the AWP, and it will be 4 rounds in a row for the FaZe clan. After losing the first pick, the nades landing on their face as they try to rush Banana at the very start. They'll make their way towards the A side. It's Rain once again, posting big numbers. 3 kills for him as he made his way out of the apartment. He saw that nice deep smoke at the top of the balcony. Manages to have some focus on the A side. The flashbangs were good. His teammates pushing towards Arch and disallowing Draken any sort of entrance with the AWP. He will save that weapon, but a pause will be called. 4th stage loss bonus is the nade at the start. Devastating. So the pause will come through. Do they force up around this orb? I would say no. It's very early on in the game. They don't have to. I think some deagles, no armor would be fine. They get maximum loss bonus next round. So see if Draken can maybe get aggressive towards B, get the opening pick, funnel them back to an A stack potentially. Something along those lines. And Threat will be assessing the situation right now and working out what he thinks best.
What's best is long game, but they've called early timeouts on NiP before in this arena. Yesterday they called 2 against SK, and one of them paid off, I think, because they played the economic game correctly and able to pull back in. That was the first map when they went 6-1 down and then ended up winning the half, 8-7 on overpass. Flash immediately for Guardian with smokes as well. That will limit their approach onto Banana. They've gotten 3 players in that position, so they obviously want it. They want 4. Execution toward B, perhaps. They've got an angle. Don't let the X-ray mislead you. Guardian can't quite see Get Right. He's actually back towards CT.
There's a small investment from NiP. The CZ's very dangerous on Inferno. That boost towards Arch, designed to look above the smoke that FaZe deployed. Actually hit a shot there. It's Rain that gets tagged up, so they know exactly where the AWP is now. Draken position towards middle will actually rotate back towards B.
Very smart.
And that could be the play that wins them the round, if it's possible. We've lost all map control for FaZe now. If they want to reclaim apartments, they'll have to be very methodical and slow as Gerard gets boosted up. Remember, Draken is here with the AWP. Up against Guardian, one of the absolute best snipers in the game. This could be a fake. You can see the bomb towards top of middle. They're going to try and keep the CTs on this side of the map. This is actually a really nice call from Carrigan. They'll probably commit 1 player in the form of Nico from what I can see. Maybe an Orvloff. They'll both go in and just try and keep their numbers on this side of the map as the bomb makes its way towards A.
Yeah, and then once they've confirmed that A went just Forrest there, they won't commit inside of the site, unfortunately for Draken. You're right, he hit the shot toward top middle. That revealed, so his gamble was, they know I'm here, I'll go where they know I'm not. And he tries to get over toward B at Coffins. Good find from Orloff. Takes down everyone inside of B. And Get Right gets toward the library. And Draken will stay to save the AWP one more time. 5-0 maximum loss bonus. And the bye immediately impending for NiP. And it'll be a strong one.
Yeah, that was just textbook Counter-Strike there. Carrigan with the godlike call. Knowing that Draken showed himself towards top of middle, it's very common for these top AWPers, once they fire a shot, show their presence, to change position, go to the other bomb site, the idea to funnel them and dictate where they'll be going in the round. Carrigan's aware of that situation. Likely it's going to be towards B. They throw all the smokes in there, force all the rotations, the flashbangs go in, and his teammates commit towards the A side. Olaf Meister there to mop up the kills as B as they start to rotate, and we'll have another clean sweep here. 5-0 for FaZe. This is looking much better for them. Draken once again trying to save the AWP or take down one. That's all off. So the money is okay. Like we said, maximum loss bonus going to the next round, and the AWP has been saved. They've got a nice full buy here. Can even bring out the double AWP if they wanted to. They're considering it. The fifth player yet to buy, that's Rez, but he will go to the M4A4. 5-0. But NiP have had greater comebacks than this before, even in this tournament. 7-1 down against SK and still won the map.
Draken waiting top mid wall with back turned to the play because he's hoping to get flashed. Or flashes to come toward him, and then he'll peek on the back of them. Look at Guardian. That is so much utility. I thought I saw another nade coming through. It was actually the trail. As you see it in the air. Of a flash. That's pretty good, Rez. In fact, that bullet alone would have done it. Not all the utility as well, but he's got Nico, so they add to it. 2 down, 3 to find, and good control in Bananas. Forrest finds a shot over top of the edge of the balcony. It's Rain that sits in wait, and it's on to just Carrigan.
Oh, they've shown up in style. It's Rez to find the opening frag. They're aggressive towards B. Took the fight to FaZe, and he gets 3 kills at the very top. Challenging the barrels. Good flashbangs deployed. Smoke at the bottom to give him a bit of wiggle room there. And we'll see how nice this was. It's Rez to find that first kill. It's actually Guardian that goes down. He did so good for an IP and continues that form here as he posts the first round.
And the interesting thing with that round as well is FaZe didn't use any utility. They went straight contact, hoping that they can play the long game and bleed NiP out, but they got such good use of utility. That's going to force FaZe to think that they need to start using smokes early on to get position.
Just to note, it's Rez who's the secondary AWP on this particular map. He does hit the first shot, but it's right in the shoulder of Olaf Meister through the corner of the wall there. So we'll go down to 17 points of health. Not the 5-on-4 he was looking for, but damage suddenly inflicted.
Inflicted as well with 5 smokes still up. So again, an early advantage for NiP in map control. In that essence, as Exist gets tagged through the wall down to 40, has to back away.
What a tag it was.
Yeah, I played that position last round as well, so you can see the blood splatters. They knew exactly the lineup. Be able to get away with playing up there far too commonly if they're going to do that. Has an egg. Flames down, couldn't find the shot. Forrest tags him back. The man who did damage onto Exist now finds himself slightly worse on 30 HP.
We hit the 1 minute mark. It looks like an A approach will be coming through from FaZe. They still have smokes available, flashbangs as well. Rain to challenge towards Quad. Won't take the shot just yet. He has pushed him back towards the side itself. No real crossfires deployed as of yet. We've got Exist who's facing towards Quad, and it's actually a successful challenge there. Rain goes down towards the boiler. It's advantage NiP, make it a double. Forrest finds Carrigan, and they've got no map control to speak of now, FaZe.
They're going to abandon ship and go back toward Banana. In fact, Bomb going all the way back down. They might not go for anything.
Yeah, Olaf's T-spawn at the bomb.
He's going to save. They're going to save early with 20 seconds. They have no access. Forrest has been incredible toward the pit, but again, they cannot get Banana control. Early nades. No smokes. They kept smokes up on the NiP side until late.
They're showing no respect to FaZe. They're challenging every single position. They're not going to be sat on the bomb site waiting for their execution. They want to take those frags at the very start. It's Exist that opens things up, forces the challenge out of Carrigan towards the apartments. Forrest takes care of him, and it will be the second round in a row for NiP. We saved 3 guns over the FaZe side. Guardian, of course, with the AWP. They get no money into the next round, but they'll still have enough to force around it as NiP start to get into this one. We'll have a tactical timeout from FaZe at this point.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me in the fact that they elected to save so soon. Obviously, they didn't have confidence in the game plan late in that round. They don't have confidence in the last 2 rounds. And with Carrigan, gives him a little bit more time, including the end of the last, sort of 27 seconds of that round, plus this timeout. A little more time to convey his thoughts.
Now, Guardian's one of the few AWPers on the T side of Inferno that can cause absolute chaos. He's very confident towards the banana. We happily pushing smokes and molotovs to find those opening picks. Not many AWPers can have a huge amount of impact further than the very initial few 20 seconds or so of a T round in Inferno. He's always deadly. We'll see if he can come to life. We haven't seen something astonishing from him as of yet in this grand final, but I promise you, it's coming.
Keep an eye on early utility battles. NiP's had the best of it in the last 2 rounds. This time they deploy a little bit more early on. Less smokes on their belts. In fact, Rez the only one to throw one toward A. Exist gets rid of his, but they still have 3 up, so they're in an okay position, whereas they've had to use a little more on FaZe's side to try and clear the banana, and that's something they didn't do the last 2 rounds. It doesn't even matter. Rez still has the angle to find Olaf. Even then, it's not enough.
Showing as he can do it with the AWP as well. An opening pick there. 5 on 4. Olaf Meister go down once again. He's having a rough time over at that B position the last couple of rounds. Exist still not falling back, wants to challenge towards Boiler. You can do that with the AK-47 on the CT side. You can see they've got no M4s there. Double AWPs, 3 AKs. This is the strongest the CT side can be. He can take more aggressive angles and actually go for the picks as the wallbangs start to come through. No damage inflicted just yet. Rez isn't done at the top of Banana. He wants to find these kills. He wants the jewels. And he's up against Guardian. He'll show his head and he'll get blown off. Rain will come forward from the arch, but it might not be enough at this point.
Remember yesterday against NiP, they gave up 1 kill in 4 rounds. To SK at one point, good shot. Exist. They've been very good on the CT sides once they get rolling in. They're rolling now. Looking for a 3rd straight round with Rain and Nico standing in their way. Rain's done well to get around the arch considering they pushed in toward the boiler. Spotted now, however, from the pit, from Forest. And as he commits to that angle, Nico finally gets one on him. That's going to open up the A site. The anchor position gone. And I don't think they were anticipating such a deep presence from FaZe Clan, so they'll be able to get a plant off this. And then it'll be a 3-2 retake.
Yeah, Exist has to wait. He can't challenge this bomb. Surely, oh, maybe he can! Oh. It was a good attempt, but it's not enough. If he gets that kill, the round's over. Getright's going to push the smoke. It's not enough. 2 versus 1. He's left Rez for dead. He had to wait for his teammate to come through, but he took the challenge. Now Rez with the AWP has to find the first shot. Nails
he knows
it.
He's low. He knows he's low. He knows Nico's tagged. He goes to the pistol. Good communication. He gets the pistol out. Now pull it back. And you're right. He had to wait, but he took the gamble. 1 HP was all that stopped that kill from happening.
A little smile on Rez's face there. He knows how important that was for his team. Exist, tried to challenge, deny the bomb plant. It was almost successful, couldn't connect the spray. You would think Getright waits at that point, but no. He needs Rez in an awkward 2-on-1 situation, but he comes out on top. The first shot was great, baits out the shots with the shoulder peek, then the P250 to finish things off. What a tournament he's having. So far in my book, he's the MVP, looking absolutely fantastic. As we get into round number 9, 5-3, NiP with 3 in a row. And it's another buy for FaZe. They've still got money for days here. But Forest with the first kill once again. And the nades. Look at Guardian down to 1 HP. He eats 2 HEs. And he's still looking for the first kill.
And NiP again essentially win the banana control without a single use of a smoke. They still have 5 up. They're doing an incredible job of containing FaZe on that portion of the map. Rain's done well at least to get outside of middle this time. Takes the initiative and just walks out from the boiler. It's a kill back that gives them the mid wall. In fact, he's got Forest. That again gives them the pit. The problem is the bomb's got to rotate around. Getright, good find on Olaf, and he'll push down. He'll continue on, and they know they're backing off of Banana, so Exist will try and burrow himself in a position to catch them. Smart rotation, therefore, by Nico.
His lack of respect Counter-Strike coming through. I absolutely love it. 3-on-2 once again. It's Rain and Nico, the same duo who tried to defend the bomb plant in the previous round. Rain holds towards the pit this time. The bomb will be planted successfully, but it's not at the best angle. 3 ninjas on their way through.
And same 3 left alive. This time Exist forced to wait. It was Rez that got 2 after Exist, and Getright went down last round. Exist expecting them to be inside a pit is not wrong in firing a Molotov or throwing incendiary rather toward that position. Rez certainly does have a Molotov. He's picked that up. He'll try and cover the inside of the site. Can't find it. Rez last alive. Suddenly Getright and Exist found it a crossfire, and Rez blinded off. He's still going with the op, but can't do anything with it. And another round finally. It's taken a while for FaZe, but a 6. It does give a chance for a reset after 3 rounds going to NiP.
Another 3-on-2 situation there from the FaZe clan.
I think the money on NiP, okay, it's actually better than I thought, considering they went down to the 1-on-1 last round.
And it came down to a situation where Rain and Nico had to perform. Certainly delivered that. Nothing going in favor of NiP whatsoever. I have loved the aggression coming through on the CT side. They're not just sitting back, resting on their laurels. They're actually actively taking the game to FaZe, disallowing any sort of map control, especially towards Banana. Rez and Getright are not messing around whatsoever. Getright finding the confidence, the flash over, takes the low HP Guardian, takes Olaf Meister behind the wall as well. They had the advantage, but couldn't clutch it out. But they keep FaZe modest. UMP out for Carrigan. They have got the utility, but they are fully invested into this round. The unpause comes through, and NiP will have the double AWP set up once again. 6-3, round number 10. Looking very good for FaZe, but NiP are looking very dangerous at the same time. The gun rounds have been impressive in the last 4.
for Olaf again. This time there is a smoke early. But again, NiP contesting. They'll come out worse for wear for it. They finally get nades back their direction. But, oh, I was going to say they still have res boosted up the secondary op. He's found. And Get Right goes back to the site. He's going to hold the op. So he gives up his AK in doing so. Excuse me, his M4. A good find for FaZe. First time they've had the early pick in a while.
There is a gap in that smoke. Get Right with the AWP. We've seen it a couple of times this tournament. As his teammate went down, they went for the boost above the wall. Not get anything from the gap as Draken gets flashed off. He'll have to fall back to more defensive line. Flashes over, trying to buy himself anything he can at this point. They will be committing. He surely goes down here. Fall back and hold the arch, and Carrigan will be trying to flash him off. He's got a lot of work to do. Nails the first shot, but the trade comes in.
Decent trade. Quick from Guardian. Forest in the pit. They found an answer to him in the last 2 rounds. It's cost them one of them. He's got a crossfire set this time with Exist. He's gone for pit 1 rather than pit 2, but they still find it. Olaf, the shot over top of the wall as Nico found Exist that was backing him up. A bomb planted, and Get Right who grabbed the op from Rez. After he went down as the last, then a 1 versus 3, and a save, I think, is the only thing on the cards for that op. So momentum lost just when NiP needed it.
Yeah, and that will be the moment looking a little bit more desperate for them. As we head into the next round, have second state loss bonus, no one with any residual cash here. If Get Right can save the orb, there's always a chance. Oh, Nico will get the final frag. That orb will not be saved. 7-3. We might take another pause here for the NiP side, just to work out if it's worth getting the CZs, maybe for the body armor here. But FaZe take a considerable lead at this point. And here's that first shot. Nico, confident as ever with the AK-47. He'll take down Rez, do damage to the second player who is boosting. And Get Right unable to hit a shot with the AWP. A full eco now for the Swedish side. Olaf Meister will bring out the MAC-10. And we'll have a rush down middle, it seems. Maybe not going to cross over towards the boiler. And they'll be challenging second middle here.
Challenging aggressively, rains down. No trade. Damage was done to Forest. Guardian finally gets a line from mid. That's pretty good to find Forest. And Kerrigan's ready for it. He opens the doorway. Gets inside of the apartment halls. Just Rez and Get Right. Get Right with the AK. Rez with a good shot on Kerrigan. Wants to go for that gun as well. This will strengthen them. They don't have armor to go along with it, and they don't have positional awareness of Olaf, who went all the way around through B. Cut off Get Right, similar to how he cut off SK in some ways yesterday. Not quite as eventful. But 1 versus 3, and Rez again has to save 8-3. FaZe have won the T side of Inferno, and NiP, having gone down early, looked like they were going to pull it back. It's now going to be a very tough game for them.
It absolutely is. 3 players survive, and Rez with the AK-47 won't really have many options here. He holds towards the A-bomb site. A nice idea from NiP. They seem to be focusing on these surprise pushes on their full ecos. They're actually doing something actively at the very start of the round. Instead of holding up and maybe a 5-man stack, we saw it on Cobblestone, rushing long A in middle. They've done it now in Inferno. And they got them the opening pick. They get 2 in total. Not be enough to win the round, of course, but it certainly gives them a little bit to work with, an extra $300 for those kills. And then they save the AK-47 at the same time. That'd be fantastic. Olaf Meister won't be taking down Rez at this point. And we'll head into round number 12. 8-3, the overall scoreline. We can bring out a double orb once again if we require. But at this point, I think Rez stay on the AK-47. He has had a couple of good shots of the orb, but his AK, his M4 work has just been off the scales at this event in particular. He's looked fantastic, and there's not a problem with him just having the rifle in his hand. He doesn't need that AWP.
Already through the window and alt mid while Draken tries to get aggressive.
Yes, very aggressive there.
Battle they've been winning that's suddenly not going their way. Exist hasn't been up here since, I think, round 6 and 7 were the 2 that he played.
Well, it makes sense that FaZe don't commit to that banana push at the very start. They have been getting wrecked by the nades. You've noted it a couple of times. And you might as well wait for that utility to come through. Molotov the car to deny him any sort of aggressive push. And Draken still went for it. Took considerable damage there. 36 HP. No tag picked up in his favor. And we'll boost over the wall here. Nico to try and open things up. But there'll be nothing on the other side. And so look to challenge potentially CT spawn his teammate Guardian top and middle. A lot of time to work with there. We have got apartments control, so the default looking quite good for FaZe so far. Exist won't be able to challenge as aggressively as he did before. The M4A4 has a significant disadvantage against Rain. He's got the AK. We'll have to hold up. We'll probably see more of a crossfire mentality from the Ninjas eventually here.
So looking for the cross, smokes top mid. Good find, Rez. Takes down the 1 player, Olaf, who's been problematic in playing the lurk when they have gone toward the A site. He knows that he's alone as well, so he's already on his horse. Draken's going to join them. It's going to be a straight A hit.
Draken stuck.
A man down. Get right tries and finds it actually inside of the smoke once Kerrigan lands. Rain pulls one back, but Forrest in the corner this time. He's given up on Pit. Hasn't been favorable to him in the last 3 rounds. This time, a better position, but he's still traded back. Nico with the kills. Rez again on rotation, and it's down to Guardian, who has to plant default. As Rez runs behind him fast as he dares, slows up just in time because Guardian was ready and waiting. In fact, he's getting impatient, and he wants to be aggressive in the post play.
Oh!
Guardian, my man. What a shot as he finds Rez, and he goes back for more! He's even quicker against Draken, and that is why he is a legend!
I told you he's just warming up into this grand final. That's why he's considered one of the world's best. The AWP 2-on-1 clutch, close range. Shoves the barrel of the orb down Rez's throat towards Quad. And of course, that shot on the bomb tower is just spectacular. He's had a quiet final so far, but that one made some noise. Lovely work against Draken, and that was a situation where NiP had it under control. You can see the CT defense are doing the right plays at this point. When it's gotten about to the 40-second mark and you're feeling the execution coming through, it's Get Right, flashing over towards B. Taking on Olofmice, that's a player they've been bullying on this map so far. He can't find the frags as he holds towards that barrel position, but it wasn't enough. A clumsy execution from FaZe, and Carragher couldn't get out of the apartments. He lost the first frag, but Nico opened things up and gave Guardian a chance. And he certainly rose to the occasion. He's broken the money down of NiP once again. Round number 13, and they're 9-3 down. We'll have to just take Deagles, PD50s, and a couple of grenades.
What a round from Guardian, and you're right. He is starting to arrive. Even since he's joined FaZe with so much star power around him, it's not like he's been dropping highlights on us left, right, and center. There's just so much potential on this team, but man, oh man, he certainly can still control the pace of things as Rain takes down Exist, and now the half falls apart. It breaks wide open after 3 very convincing in a row from NiP. Olaf will spray down Rez and Get Right.
Yeah, finally get a bit of confidence there from Olaf. He's had a bit of a rough time at Banana, but a 5-on-2 situation, double digits for FaZe at this point. Inferno's looking very good for them. NiP might not even have a chance to show us how good they can be on the T side. That's where, in my opinion, they do their best work. We saw the amazing executes towards B, the calculated Molotovs, the flashbangs, the timings. They were so good on this map against SK, but right now the firepower really coming to life from FaZe and is not having a chance here. The clutches just every single time going in favor of the European side. Now it's up to Draken and Forrest to once again save Deagles. It's a very boring procedure, but they can't afford to keep giving money towards that FaZe side. They might as well hold on to the lesser pistols here. See if anyone goes hunting and try and upgrade to an AK-47. We'll have a look at the frag shots while we're here, just to note Forrest, after having such a performance map on Cobblestone. Once again, he did this in the series yesterday. He's on 4 kills, 9 deaths. He has one epic map. Then he'll go quiet.
He seemed so good in Pit to start off, too. I thought he looked very, very promising in the first 2 gun rounds that they did win, but then they solved him quite quickly. Nico and Rain specifically.
It's only Rez that's had any significant impact, and Get Right to some extent as well. It's the Banana area that's been strong for them. They've actively been challenging for frags at the very start. They're winning duels, doing lots of nade damage. Utility usage has been very good indeed. But the A side, at this point, might be a little bit too late for them to get back into the game. Round number 14, double orbs out once again. A nice full buy for the Ninjas. They need the 10-5 at this point. 11-4 I don't think will be good enough.
Guardian holds off in middle just to let Kerrigan get more aggressive. He just peeks quickly towards his left. Get the Molotov. That's already. That goes in behind the smoke to clear. Quad side. Quick confirmation from Rain if anyone's running back or trying to hold an angle. Rez needs to win this duel. This has been the problem. They've solved Banana, and you can already see the effects that's had as they play a lot more passive this time. Early rotation even without really getting an anchor or anything deep inside of the position. So CT op shot, not ideal because they can cover that off so quickly with utility. Looks like they aren't going to do damage the same. Smoke's going to go down, so he's got to back away. Can't hit the free shot. Tries to time it. Somehow he hits that as he snaps away and heads toward Ruins. I don't even think he was expecting to. What a play from Rez. Olaf tries to get over top. The smoke's still down. He falls off, thankfully, because that'll allow the rotation to come around as Rain's fallen as well. And NiP this time very convincing as they start back in. Get Right finds Nico. It's all the Guardian. And Guardian's gotten 2 already. Ooh. Draken lines him up, finally takes him down.
There was a lineup there. He could have got the collateral, but not meant to be. Rez with the pedal backward no scope. It was very interesting that came in his favor, but the frags working out once again towards that B bomb site. The double orb setup yielding results. It's Get Right who gets baited in by the smoke spam of Rez from the coffin area. He capitalizes and makes it a very convincing round for the Ninjas at that point. We have got a technical pause, just to note at this point, called by the NiP side. It's normally a headset issue or something trivial like that. But here's the play from Get Right, pushing through that smoke with all the confidence in the world, everyone looking towards coffins. Guardian 4 versus 1. He hits a couple of shots, you start believing there, but it wasn't enough. And we'll head into the final round of the first half here. 10-4 overall. In terms of the overall money, we do have enough for a full buy on either side. FaZe kind of course with the AWP in the hands of Guardian, 4 AKs. Full utility. And Draken might have to take a small... Okay, he guys got the double AWP, so they're absolutely fine. I thought he was going down to a rifle there.
Yeah, I think it was already pre-dropped.
So double AWP setup, full buy. That's what we'd like to see to close things out here. As I said, NiP at this point need the 10-5 to stand a chance on Inferno.
Absolutely. Rez. Oh, Rez, make your decision, my man. It's caught out in between flames and has to fall away. He's taken down already to 28. Seeing anyone as Forrest this time, rather than play the pit, he'll hold the apartments, but much different position as he gets more forward. Rain's crossed over the smoke. That's exactly what Forrest wants to push. He's in between two. He's in between two and somehow finds one. He may get both. He sees Rain. He can't react fast enough as Guardian takes down Draken as well. It leaves us 3 aside. And they want to go quickly on toward A as a result of the kills. They know that there's going to be less defense inside of the site. There is still one man, though, on the corner. Common position, but tough to find. Good find from Get Right. Rain trades that. The trades have been back and forth until now. Finally an unanswered kill goes away. I say unanswered toward FaZe. It's Rez. And he knows that Olaf's in the corner. My goodness, that nade comes so close. 12 HP as he stays alive. He was in mid-20s when it was thrown his direction, and Olaf's trying to play with him, trying to bait out the upshot. Does get one. But Rez was ready to move immediately because he was hoping that in baiting himself out, he would turn the shot the other way and baiting Olaf out in return.
Surely this doesn't work out. But Rez, it has to be the quick scope. But he can't connect it. It's going to be 11-4 FaZe with a clinical half there. The T side of Inferno looking incredibly sharp for them. And we know NiP can do the exact same thing towards FaZe, but they might not have a chance here. They need the pistol in the second half. And we'll find out if they can do it after the break. apartments or second middle at all. They'll presumably smoke CT spawn, flash over, and go in as a 5-man unit.
And get right to lead the way.
And they have to go in the next 10 seconds or so. They have nothing on the map whatsoever.
One smoke. CT.
Oh!
Guardian goes in forward anyway. Takes down Rez. Drops the bomb temporarily, but doesn't matter. They're going to catch it on the way by. It's Kerrigan. Follows it up. Nico's gotten a kill, but Get Right finally gets one in return. Exist getting Kerrigan gives them something to work with. Gives them position. That certainly does as Forrest will cover off the immediate effect of Ruins. Bomb safely planted and Get Right to cover Banana. No flank this time because Olaf has put him down and Rain has pulled this back. It's gone from the lead to NiP with the bomb down to the lead on the retake for FaZe. It's just Exist in a 1 versus 2. He's got to push back through the smoke they put down, and that means they're greeting him on the other side quite effectively. It's 12 rounds now and 2 straight pistols in this map for FaZe.
Too aggressive there from NiP. The bomb down. It's just to set up the crossfires, make things difficult for the ensuing counter-terrorists coming from Banana, CT Spawn, everyone challenging, leaving Exist there in a horrible 2-on-1 situation. Nothing to do. Get Right didn't even have to challenge Banana. Could have said on the bomb site. That's the thing with FaZe. It's unlikely you're going to beat most of them in a 1-on-1 duel. Nice work from Guardian though, as the final crewman came in from NiP, gets a shot before the smoke bloomed. Bit of mistiming there perhaps from NiP in that sense, but they'll be having a tactical purchase in the second round here. Forrest feels like he can cause some damage with the AK-47. Well, maybe not for long. Rain does a little bit more. That's towards the T-steps as well. That's very good. 2 kills in his favor. Both of them headshots, and the bomb's gone down. That AK didn't really do much at all.
Yeah, they desperately had to do something and try and pull the game, the momentum and everything back in their favor. Rez can't find the shot. Does get Rain down to 3 HP collectively. But he certainly did his job early on to thwart the chances of NiP as Get Right wants to lead off with the P250. Guardians gets caught in transition, but P250 and not the AK, nothing they can really do of it. Hits him once. Gives them the mid wall. FaZe are set up and ready for it. As well, still holds the arch. Get Right down. Even if they could have wrapped around fast enough to find Rain, they still had Guardian plus an additional player inside of the site. Rain's transferred from the site to the pit, giving him a better angle of approach. As Get Right, Rez rather finds himself as the last alive. Olaf was able to rotate, finds Rez immediately, gets in behind from top mid, and we find ourselves 13-4 for FaZe.
Few FaZe fans in the crowd there as we enter round number 18. There will be a buy here for NiP, of course. One player without the rifle. It's Exist who is the merchant this time. He gives Forrest an AK-47, knowing how good he can be. The in-game leader takes a sacrifice and gives up his weapon. And this will be a chance for FaZe to get aggressive here. Guardian look at the first frag. It's actually Rain once again with that AK-47. Takes down the first kill, and Guardian now with the advantage, desperately trying to scurry back towards the top of middle. He will successfully. Takes a bit of damage there, but overall they've got the man advancing to fall back to the crossfires.
We'll probe out the apartments. Again, the early pick. And again, it's Rain.
How sick was that in the previous round? Towards T-steps. 4 bullets, 2 kills, one of which was a fully equipped Forrest with the AK. It's got shut down in the first 5 seconds of the round.
Yeah, that hurts, doesn't it? When you've gone all in with 2 AKs pulled up.
You're believing he's giving you a big speech as to how he can make this round happen. He believes he's good enough at this point to find a couple of frags, get an opening. First 5 seconds, bang, bang, 2 kills. And we go towards B. The advantage once again for FaZe. We know how good this execution can be now, but they don't really have it available. 1 smoke. 1 Molotov and a couple of flashbangs, and they're smoked out. They might just have to go for a contact play here and try and surprise them with this 1 flashbang.
They're smoked down as well. Kerrigan playing inside. Flashbang could have surprised Kerrigan. It doesn't matter. They go straight in on contact. Nico's gone as well. Don't have a smoke to cover off CT, but they pick up a Molotov on the way by, which might be beneficial to cover off Ruins in the post plant, which now is upon us. 3 AKs and full armor. Got an angle this time in toward, similar to what they had at Ruins. With Exist to bait Forrest. Get Right this time will sit back inside of the site. They are coming all from CT. The good crossfire setup means that Olaf doesn't have much access, and they're going to back off this early. They don't want to lose the momentum. They've got kits, armor, nades, and M4s. Make that just 1 M4 as Rain gets found by Forrest. So NiP do find a 5th round, and they'll give themselves a chance in doing so because it's only 13 for FaZe. I know that's a lot, but it's only 13. That's how they have to look at it.
You're absolutely right. The 3rd round forced by those AKs with 1 pistol at the same time was looking a bit scary. It goes down to a 5-on-4. towards the B side we went. We noted their lack of utility. There was no execution potential there at all. Contact play, one flashbang getting through, and Rez opens things up, finds both kills, and FaZe can't do anything about the retake. We've seen that bait before, where Forest gets towards the ruins and Exist will hold the angle and try and take all the aggro away from him. It works very nicely. Forest didn't actually have to do much at all then. His in-game leader delivering the goods, but still not out of the woods just yet. 13-5 and the double AWP setup comes out. We know how good Guardian can be on this map. This is out on the first shot. We thought that was going to connect. As he goes towards the underpass, he'll have to fall back. But Nico, he's still holding strong behind the flames.
Tag though, Nico. Exist may be able to hurt that. Shows himself. Somehow gets away with it, not the second time. Very daring from Exist, I must say. The op prevails from Nico. Down to 27 HP as though he is. It's still a massive kill for them to find a banana early on.
Yeah, bait out the first shot, had to hit the first bullet headshot to take down Nico. There wasn't the case. Once again, bit of baiting going on here. We got Carrigan behind the sandbags, hoping that Nico can take the attention away from himself. It won't happen. Rez detects him, and now Nico, low HP, needs one more here. He'll get it and fall back. That work will be very beneficial to FaZe. He calls for his teammates to rotate through.
Guardian set, but doesn't have vision. The smoke is down. He'll try and time some shots. For an additional smoke to cut off the second off. Nico's trying it. It's a tough angle. There's really not much on the other side. Nearly walks into the flames. He's on 19. Still finds Draken as they walk around. He nearly found Forrest, who this time gets position. He's going to grab the op because they're desperate to find picks immediately. And little do they know that already behind the smoke, up close, Olaf is approaching. Rain's gone through banana this time. Get Right has to play passive. They can't go for the fancy crossfire in ruins. Forrest is baited out of one shot. Turns around, no one immediately on his heels. They are there though! Good read from Forrest and good night, Olaf. It's Guardian who's gonna back off.
He knew every single time that someone would be coming through. He just had to get the timing correct. Nails a shot of banana, comes back towards the ruins and takes down one of the key players at Olaf Meister. And Guardian can't do anything about it. 3-on-2 situation going in favor of NiP. We could be going the distance here. That was the first step. Shut down the fall by in the double AWP situation. And Matt, Nico did so much work there. The 3 kills at the AWP, we thought this was enough, but that was just beautiful from Forrest. Keeps them alive. And it should be the full eco now from FaZe. USPs and 1 PD50, that's about it. And they'll send 5 players towards the B bomb site. Exist is prepared with the MAC-10. Draken might find contact first though as he gets towards the logs.
Second time in this series we've seen Forrest get a clutch with a gun picked up. He did it with 2 kills on a Deagle and an M4 on Cobble, this time with an AWP. Draken has that now. He'll take down Guardian, stack up in banana. They've got to be somewhat careful, but as Exist, Draken all in position. Exist will go down, they'll lose 1. No reason to go any further. Still though, they stay there. Bomb potentially drop tops T stairs. They can just run that over toward the A site. Doesn't matter, they'll find them all anyway. 13-7 and NiP closing.
Absolutely well. Money around the $4,500 mark per FaZe player. Looks like they might just take a partial buy here. They've got a huge bet around him. I like this call. You don't need to ruin your own money so early on into the game. 37, got a huge bet around, so let's just take another partial buy. We know we're deadly with the Desert Eagle. We can even win this sort of round with CZs, Deagles, and body armor. And we'll get the double AWPs out once again going into round number 22. I would say a chance for NiP to have another clean sweep here, but we've seen what FaZe can do with these pistols, and NiP have struggled. Famously, they do very well against these anti-ecos, but FaZe are a different beast altogether.
Different beast indeed. You take the best of the Fnatic dynasty, the in-game leader of Astralis, the best of Mouse Sports, arguably the best of Na'Vi, and the staple of Rain.
Quite the recipe.
And make a team.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. Get Right wants to make contact from Boiler.
Here we go.
Shot from, speaking of that, Rain. Deagle at range. 3 players still on that side as well in quads. We've got to be careful for us if he wants to go back for more. Nade will discourage him.
This is the problem we had on Cobblestone. Every chance they get, there's no trade potential, and it's Nico with another beautiful headshot. Make it 2! And NiP just can't do anything against these pistols. They seem to be so caged. They're so careful, but it's working against them. And Nico, 2 through the smoke, of course. They managed to pick up a rifle. It's up to Draken and Forrest to make this round a possibility. Just hiding right now.
Good luck.
Oh, Olaf Meister got them locked in the underpass. Here's one.
Forrest run away. He knows they're in banana. He'll go. Confirmation from top mid. No one else is there. He's going to be perfectly on their heels. What an unbelievable series of shots from Deagles, and Olaf waits. He knows they're both there. Might as well make it perfect. And he will. Forrest turns around. Guardian has him. What a round. We just talked about the recipe. Well, there you go. There's the results of it. Such pinpoint accuracy.
Yeah.
And after NiP pull back, economic advantage,
I think
get up to 7 rounds.
they could just use Deagles and be a world-class team still. It's unbelievable the work they do with these weapons. Nico with 2, of course, one of which is through the smoke. No problem at all. 1 bullet. Didn't even spam it. Just 1 bullet. Okay. No problem. Well, like I said, NiP against most other teams would probably think, well, that's a guaranteed round for us, but FaZe just seem to find those shots every single time as Rain had opened things up towards the top and middle, towards the border, and that's the problem for NiP. Every single shot that comes through, there's never a trade against FaZe. It seems like they panic a little bit when the pistols come out. Instead of grouping up and maybe go for an execution, if they're struggling so much against the Deagles in the D4 setups, maybe that's the play. Just swarm banana, go for the execute, get in there together as they're really having a rough time here. 14-7, another one of their lives gone. As the unpause comes in, there are a few compromises to be made. Exist only with the pistol. Draken on the AWP, but he's up against Guardian, who will push through the flames here. But with the first frag, will take a lot of damage, but still fighting. Flashbang comes in, he wants to find Rez, but the utility work from FaZe is just as good as NiP's. They'll find that first grenade kill and fall back.
Fall back indeed. Man down and the man of the hour down as well as he's gone early. It's Get Right still back in toward the apartments. Draken with the op gets closer toward the top of middle. Standard formation with good banana presence from FaZe. Confirmation no one's down toward the bottom of mid. Exist with only the CZ will watch the flank. Even that's a bit desperate. Very, very much need a pick. Nico with a deep smoke will try and sneak in. Again, anchor off the fact that they've gone for the 4-1. Two smokes and a Molotov left for NiP.
Time running out, Matt. The bomb's still down bottom and middle. They've got 15 seconds by the time they pick it up. This doesn't look like it's going to be good enough. They have to just go all in and rush A. Get Where's going to have to open things up. That's not going to happen. Looking far too comfortable now. FaZe have got them on the ropes. This should be match point. It's going to be such a clumsy affair. They might just have to give in. They are.
Yep.
What a horrible misplay from NiP.
Took them way too long. Exist went to get the M4, but they had no idea where to go and no idea what to do with it. So they'll keep at least 3 players alive, but it gives map point to FaZe. The benefit of doing so, obviously, is that if they'd lost the round either way, they wouldn't have had guns to play for overtime. Now they've at least got guns, but they have to play for overtime.
There's so much pressure by the Get Right there. The fact they've mistimed that so badly, he has to face in the apartments. He had no choice there. He had to get them an opening, otherwise there was no chance of winning the round. He doesn't do it. Rain, a very comfortable kill. They run in. It's just looking clumsy now from NiP. After losing to those pistols, it's all falling apart. They'll rush B to try and get back into this game. It works out for now. Forrest have won, but they're up against Nico. One of the world's best, and he finds a 3-man spray down. Olaf Meister chiming in. I think that's it. We're absolutely done on Inferno, and it will be FaZe tying up the series. 4 versus 1. Draken, good luck, my friend.
Oh, just as he looks away as well, just to make matters worse. 4 kills for Nico. He had 2 on the Deagle earlier that turned the fates. And for all intents and purposes, right off the first 2 maps, we have a best-of-3 final. They both have won, and yes, the FaZe fans are very much up in here. Clever wordplay, but it's a clever series so far. That map not quite as exciting. I think NiP may have needed Inferno as well when you consider what comes up next. It's Train, Overpass, and Cache if needed. Train is a map where FaZe has been improving steadily.
Well, the final's just starting to heat up. FaZe strike back. We'll be back after the break and some words from the desk.